Hey everyone, this is Chris Like with Buddy Star Tales from the Infinity Rainbow, and with this video tonight I am doing something a bit different. I am doing a call for justice here for Liam Ramos, the 5-year-old boy who was abducted a week ago by ICE from his home in Minnesota. He along with his father were abducted down to a ICE detainment facility in Texas, one that is notorious for its inhumane practices. And while his story has gone around viral and many have called for him to be released, I don't think there's been enough cries for justice for him, specifically urging people to call their representatives to demand his release. So I am here tonight to say we need to call our representatives, demand that Liam Ramos be released, especially because there was a new report that came out today. Two Democrat Congress members, including Jasmine Crockett, visited Liam and his dad in the detainment facility this week, and what they found was very devastating. There is, and I'll attach it to the post of this, there's a photo of Liam being held by his dad, and the boy he might be sleeping, we're not sure, but he is very lethargic. Reportedly he's very depressed, not eating, and whatever there is to eat and drink there obviously is unsanitary, from what we know from previous reports. But just if you look at that photo of Liam, and that got me really hard today while I was trying to work at my regular day job, to look at the two photos. First, the photo of him being abducted last week with his blue bunny ear or dog ear hat on and his Spider-Man backpack. Now to this photo of him in the detainment facility, a child in prison in America. Let's not forget that he is a child who is in prison, and what they've done to him, to his health, to his spirit, is beyond reprehensible. And it's a wonder that I'm not bursting into tears right now, trying to hold it together here. And that's not the only atrocity I learned about today that I want to mention here, but this video is primarily to focus on Liam Ramos, because, like I said, there's not been enough focus on this poor boy. And so, with what platform I've got here, I am trying to do something. In a little bit, I'm going to live on this recording, and I'm going to be making calls to all three of my reps, my 2 senators and my Congress representative, demanding for Liam's release, and also saying some words about the ongoing budget fight with DHS, which went in our favor today. The Democrats blocked the DHS bill, which is good, but yeah, again, we're just here tonight to call for Liam to be released, for all the children that have been detained to be released. There's many more like Liam whose stories aren't being told, and what's going on right now should not be happening in this country or any country. No child anywhere should ever have to suffer as Liam is. And I just don't think we see enough people calling that out. That's why it's so frustrating. Just bear with me here. I'm bringing up this photo I've been talking to you about, and I've got it on my phone. Just bear with me here, folks. I'm gonna try to hold this up to the camera. Okay, as you can see there's the boy Liam. The man in the green coat is his father. I unfortunately don't remember his father's name at the moment. But that's Liam. You can see he's almost asleep. And again, he was reported to be getting sick, very lethargic. This photo is a travesty. It's an abomination. It's a stinging reminder of the horrific injustices going on in this country right now. And I just can't look at it without losing it. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to phone call my representatives here on this recording. And what I'll do is, in the post for this, I'll include instructions on how to find your representatives. But if you've never called before, it's actually fairly easy to do. It's after hours now, so it'll all be voicemail. That's what I usually do, because I work during the day. Alright, so I've got, and just so you know, I have one Republican senator, one Democrat senator, and my Congress member is also MAGA Republican. So I always try to do the two Republican ones first and get it over with, and then I finish up with our Democrat Senator, Tammy Baldwin. So just going to be a minute here. I've got them on speed dial on my phone, so I'm just going to bring that up here, and I've already got typed out ahead of time what I'm going to say, so that all goes smoothly, because we need to clearly get out our demands about Liam and all the people being affected by ICE. Alright, so got my phone in my hand here. Probably can't see what I'm doing too well here, but alright. My first call is going to be to the Republican Senator, Ron Johnson, or as I've got it listed here, Russia Ron. So it's in my speed dial. I'm going to call and put it on speaker so you can hear it. Okay. Just as you can see, we're just dialing here.
Hi, this is Senator Ron Johnson. Thank you for contacting my D.C. office. If you're
I knew in advance to press 1 to get to the
Hi,
voice box.
this is Senator Ron Johnson. Thank you for calling my Senate office. We value your input. If you are expressing an opinion on an issue or vote, your viewpoint will be recorded for my review. If you are calling for personal assistance, please leave an email address in addition to your name and phone number so my staff can better assist you. Also, visit my website at ronjohnson.senate.gov or visit Senator Ron Johnson on social media to stay up to date on the latest information. Have a great day.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, I am Chris, a constituent. I'm calling to demand that the 5-year-old boy Liam Ramos and his father be released and returned to their family in Minnesota. There are reports that Liam is lethargic and very sick. A child's life is on the line. Release Liam now. Also, I'm glad to hear that the DHS bill has been carved out from the other 5 budget bills and that the Senate is now in discussions about how to rein in ICE. I want to be clear. We want no new ICE funding ever. Miller, Nome, and Bondi should be removed. We want to see ICE agents' faces and badges, an end to quotas and racial profiling, and independent investigations into Renee Good and Alex Preddy's murders. We want oversight of detention centers. We want an end to family detention. We want ICE back at the border and out of our communities. ICE should ultimately be abolished, and I want the senator to vote no on any proposal until there are ironclad guarantees of these demands. And again, please release Liam Ramos. Thanks, bye. Okay, so that was call 1 to my Republican senator. And now we will go ahead and I'm going to pull up a different message for my congressional member who's also a Republican. Alright, let's see if I still have that up here. Alright. This can be a minute here. Whenever I go back into my Substack iPhone app, it resets itself from where it was, so I have to bring up an article that I was using of Jess Craven's for my call templates. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now we will call my Congress member. I can find his number. There we go.
you would like to order a flag, schedule a tour, apply for an internship.
Hey everybody, this is Congressman Derek Van Orden, representing Wisconsin's 3rd District. Thank you very much for contacting the office. We're unable to answer the phone right now, but please leave a message with your name, address, phone number, and someone from my staff is going to give you a ring as soon as possible. Thank you very much. God bless America and your family.
Hi, I am Chris, a constituent. First, I'm calling to demand that the 5-year-old boy Liam Ramos and his father be released and returned to their family in Minnesota. There are reports that Liam is lethargic and very sick. A child's life is on the line. Release Liam now. And I'm also calling to urge the Congress member to demand the immediate resignation of Stephen Miller as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Kristi Noem as head of DHS, and Pam Bondi as Attorney General. Miller's diabolical racism and extremist anti-immigrant policies are endangering our nation, eroding international peace and stability, and threatening our most basic civil liberties. Noem is both unfit and a liar. Bondi has weaponized the Justice Department and debased the rule of law. I want the Congress member to call for all of their resignations or impeachment. Americans deserve better, and it's time Congress fought back. Thanks. And release Liam Ramos, please. And if you could tell while his voicemail was playing, I was trying to mouth to the recording that you're watching. He's a liar. He says, God bless America and your family. What a... Derek Van Orden is one of the most vile MAGA Republican representatives out there. The only reason that he won our district is, A, because it's the congressional maps here in Wisconsin are still very gerrymandered, and B, the candidate that we had running in the 2024 election to unseat him on the Democrat side was a very centrist candidate, and you know how that goes. So anyways, now I'm going to place in the call to my Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin, the one actual representative we actually do have federally in this area. And let me get that brought up here.
Hi, this is Tammy Baldwin. Thanks for calling my office. Your comments are important to me. The concerns and priorities of Wisconsinites are critical to the decisions I make as your senator. Our normal office hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. If you're receiving this message during these hours, it means we are currently busy helping other Wisconsinites. If you'd like to leave a message, please do so after the tone. Thanks for calling.
Hi, I am Chris, a constituent. I'm calling to demand that the 5-year-old boy Liam Ramos and his father be released and returned to their family in Minnesota. There's reports that Liam is lethargic and very sick. A child's life is on the line. We need to release Liam now. Also, I am glad to hear that the DHS bill has been carved out from the other 5 budget bills and that the Senate is now in discussions about how to rein in ICE. I want to be clear, we want no new ICE funding ever. Miller, Noem, Bondi should be removed. We want to see ICE agents' faces and badges, an end to quotas and racial profiling, and independent investigations into Renee Good and Alex Preddy's murders. We want oversight at detention centers, an end to family detention. We want ICE back at the border and out of our communities. ICE should ultimately be abolished, and I want the senator to vote no on any proposal until there are ironclad guarantees of these demands. Thanks, and again, please release Liam Ramos. Thanks, bye. Well, there we go. That's my 3 federal reps called for the day. You can call your reps as well. I'll include links in the post for this and how to find your rep, and basically you just dial up the number. And if you do it after hours like this, you basically just hit the option it tells you to leave the message, and then you can just leave the message. Word of caution on the ones for the senators, they usually give you no more than a minute. The one for the Congress member seems a bit longer, but yeah, I would strongly recommend that anyone watching this call your representatives and demand the release of Liam Ramos and demand those demands I mentioned about ICE and the funding bill. We cannot stand for this to happen anymore because, again, we have children that are imprisoned right now. A 5-year-old is imprisoned, and I was just in tears about this earlier. Just looking at that photo of Liam, the fact that his condition is deteriorating in real time, and I have to be honest, guys, I just have the worst feelings about this. I mean, there's been some hope. There's a GoFundMe page out for his family that's raised over $300,000, and there had been some recent updates posted saying that they're going to use that money to fight for his release. That the family was grateful for all the help, but we know that it's worse than pulling teeth to try to get the regime to cooperate to release people that should not be incarcerated. Look what happened. Remember what happened with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and they were trying to, excuse me, they were trying to keep him detained to prevent the truth from getting out, and also because Trump and the regime don't like to admit failure. But we have to keep pressing this. We have to demand that Liam be released, that he receive medical care and return to his family, because this is just inhumane, outrageous beyond words. And it brings me to another point I wanted to make, is that what we're seeing right now, this is who America is. For 250 years, America has really been nothing but a project of exploitation. It was a country that was founded on genocide and slavery. The genocide of Native Americans, slavery of Africans. And all throughout the history of this country, there's been horrific atrocity after horrific atrocity. And that is why we need to push ahead for reform, to imagine what this country could be, while accepting that what it is not just, not fair, and not free for everyone. And I was just watching, before I came on here, I was watching the latest Substack Live of Danielle Moody. She's a progressive commentator on Substack that I follow, and YouTube that I follow quite a lot, and she said something really stirring at the end of her live tonight, which is that despite all of this, despite what happened to Liam Ramos, despite the murders of Alex Pretty, Renee Good, despite all of the horror that we've seen over the past year, the past 10 years, that, Danielle said she still has hope, because that she still believes in the possibility of what America could be. And if we don't do that, if we don't hope that we can make this better, then what are we doing, And as another commentator, writer I follow on Substack named Walter Ryan says, we have to keep that in mind, that people can be good. We can't succumb to defeatism, because that's a permission structure for the atrocities to continue. So we have to say that we can build an America where nothing like what happened to Liam Ramos or Alex Pretty or Renee Nicole Good or Keith Porter will ever happen again. And looks like we're about 20 minutes into this, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to read. Last week, after I learned about Liam, I wrote this open letter to him, and it's on my Substack as one of my articles, so I'm going to bring that up here in just a second, and we will read that. Let me see. Okay, here it is, and it's called For Liam, a note of love and solidarity. We will hold your hand, and we will be your voice. This message goes out to 5-year-old Liam, a boy recently abducted by ICE, who is now at a camp in Camp Montana, Texas detainment facility. Liam, I know you must be scared and alone right now. I saw the images of you, all bundled up for school with your blue dog-eared or bunny-eared alpaca hat and your Spider-Man backpack. I saw your chilled face as a creepy ice monster grabbed you. I mean, seriously, I'm going to pause for a sec. This is the top of the article. Look at that. You've seen that photo before where the ice person's hand is grabbing him from behind. Just how creepy and horrifying is that? Okay. Know that your story is being spread far and wide. I've written an article about you, several articles now actually, and other detained kids. And your story has reached the likes of Indivisible, the DNC, and everyone in the activist network who is working hard to stop what happened to you from ever happening again. Everyone is outraged, and a donation site for you has surpassed its goal. We're all rooting for you. This Saturday, and it actually didn't happen yet due to inclement weather, but I will go this coming Saturday, to a protest with a sign that is an image of you along with the quote, "If children only matter to you when they're from a certain race, nationality, or religion, you need to check your morals." So I'm going to go with that protest sign this coming weekend. People all around the nation are standing out in the freezing cold as they chant for kids like you and try to stop any more from being taken. This fight is a long one, and I wish to pieces that I had the power to bring you back home to your family in Minnesota in an instant. I wish that we could Nuremberg all of the monsters who are taking kids like you tonight. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that justice will come. This regime will fail, and Nuremberging them all will be our mandate. The GoFundMe gives me hope that we will be able to bring you home soon. Until then, we are going to raise hell and not let you be forgotten or alone. The kind people in this nation are watching, and we have your back. Here's a prayer from the Baha'i faith that we can use that will not only show you just how special you are, but also melt the small minds of the monsters that are holding you captive. O God, guide me, protect me, make of me a shining lamp and a brilliant star. Thou art the mighty and the powerful. By Abdul Baha. Liam, you are a shining lamp, and you are, a brilliant star. Folks like me are going to work and fight every day to bring you home and to stop the bad MAGA monsters once and for all. If you're out there crying, let us hug you. We will hold your hand, and we will be your voice. We are in this fight for you, little lamb. And just for good measure, here's another Baha'i prayer for children. O thou kind Lord, these lovely children are the handiwork of the fingers of thy might, and the wondrous signs of thy greatness. O God, protect these children, graciously assist them to be educated, and enable them to render service to the world of humanity. O God, these children are pearls. Cause them to be nurtured within the shell of thy loving kindness. Thou art the bountiful, the all-loving. Abdul Baha. Oh. taking a moment here to gather myself. So that is just a glimpse of just how much we're all thinking about Liam right now, and I've been doing this video here for 25 minutes now, doing my part, doing whatever I can to call for him to be released, to call for justice. And again, I don't think there's enough being done right now at all. I know Jasmine Crockett and another, I can't remember his name, another Texas Democrat went to visit him in that, but beyond that photo op and a social media post, I just wish I had eyes behind the scenes to really see what was being done. You know, we're all wanting this to be resolved as quickly as possible. And so again, call your reps if you haven't already to demand the release of Liam. We have to get him out of there as quickly as possible, because I'm afraid, because there's already been kids that have died down there. If he doesn't eat and he doesn't drink, you know, God for freaking bed, you know, the absolute worst could happen to him. The absolute worst could happen to him if we're not able to get him out of there in time. Alright, well, thanks everyone for watching, and again, we need to fight like hell until we get all of these kids released. We will keep fighting and fighting until we win. We will never give up. We will never give in. I will keep reporting to you about Liam, and I will keep doing everything I can on my end to elevate his story. And I encourage all of you to do that as well. So thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.